Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abbie if you are new here. Today I wanted to create a fall look, and the first color that comes to my mind whenever I think of fall is army green. So I wanted to incorporate that somehow and kind of challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone. I still feel like this is a really wearable look. I don't feel like I have a lot of color in my eyes, but just enough that it gives it a little something extra. So I feel really comfortable and I love this look. If you guys would like to get this look as well, then just keep watching and don't forget to subscribe down below before you guys leave. Enjoy! To prime my skin today, I'm going to be using Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm, and this is high in glycerin, so it's just going to make the makeup apply easier. And then I'm using Fit Me foundation in 120 mixed with my Born This Way foundation in Warm Nude. I started using a beauty blender to apply this, but I found that it wasn't as even as I wanted to, so I switched over to a Artiste brush dupe that I just got on Amazon, and it worked very well. You can find these for about $10. I got a set of like 10 for $10, and every single brush works so well. I highly recommend it rather than spending $300 for Artiste brushes. As amazing as they are, these work almost just as well. And then using my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Neutral, I'm just applying this underneath the eyes to cancel out any of the darkness that I have from being a college student and staying up super late. So I'm just applying this in a triangular shape underneath my eyes, down my nose, and a little tiny bit on my chin, and then using my Real Technique sponge to just buff this all out. I'm also going to buff this onto the top of my eyelid so that way I can create a nice base for all my eyeshadows. Just kind of using this as a primer as well. And then to set it all, I'm using my Flower Beauty Cosmetics Translucent Loose Powder, and I love this stuff. It is so finely milled that it really doesn't settle into any lines, and it just makes your eye creases look so smooth and everything, and it has such a silicone-y feel almost. It's almost slippery underneath your eyes, but not in an oily way, in a very like smoothed out way. It's just the weirdest thing ever. So then I'm just going to lightly set the rest of my face with any excess that's just on that brush, basically just setting my T-zone so that way I don't get oily through the day or anything like that. And then using my Real Techniques contour brush and my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, I am just warming up the face, bronzing up the skin and all that jazz, and I'm just keeping this on the outer perimeter, and then I will also take it down my jawline and down my neck a little bit to make my foundation blend in with my neck. And then to deepen up this contour just a little bit, I'm going to dip into my Kat Von D Shade and Lights palette on the same brush, and I'm going to be using the middle shade of this palette, which is called Shadow Play. So I am just using this to deepen up a contour a little bit, not too much, just blending it into my bronzer after that, just to give me a little bit more definition on my cheekbones. And then using this Jaclyn Hill palette collab with Becca that I love so much, I'm going in with the shade Rose Spritz, which is just the shimmery blush on top. And I'm using my favorite Morphe brush of all time. This is the Morphe E4, and it just applies blush so stinking beautifully and flawlessly. You cannot go wrong using this blush brush for sure. And then I'm using my e.l.f. brow pencil, and I believe this is the shade Brown. Not positive about that, but I am spooling out my eyebrows to brush all the hairs in the direction that I wish that they would go, and then I am just lightly using the brow pencil to create hair-like strokes in my brow that will blend in the natural brow to the makeup. This is just to fill in sparse areas for me. If you need to define your eyebrows, do as you please. Do what makes you feel comfortable, but this is just something I just need a little bit more volume in my eyebrows. And then to set that all, I'm using my favorite eyebrow gel, which is just the e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is like concrete, I've said before. It just works so amazing in keeping your eyebrow hairs in place all day long. And then to set the eye, I'm going in with my Kathleen Lights palette with Morphe, and I'm using just the cream shade at the top. It's just a matte shade just to set everything and make sure all those products don't move throughout the day on my eyelids. And then I'm going to go in with the matte brown shade. I believe this is the third or fourth shade on the top row, and I'm just going to be rubbing this into the crease with a light crease brush, and I believe this is the Morphe M433 brush, I believe. And this is just perfect for those transitional crease colors. Then to start the cool part of this eye makeup look, which is the greens, I'm going to be using the Comfort Zone palette, and I'm just taking that green eyelid shadow shade on a Coastal Scents BRC SO4 brush. But really, in any condensed eyeshadow brush will work just to pack on that color. And I'm packing it on the outer corner of my eye and the inner corner of my eye. As you can see, this is just going to be a transition for the green that I'm going to put underneath. So you just want to lightly fade it out into that crease color and keeping it away from the center of the eyelid because we're going to put a different color there. And I'm just doing it on the other side of my eye. And then we will move on to the darker colors, which I'm so excited for. This is also from the Kathleen Lights, and this is exactly why I wanted to use it, but I'm just taking these dark green shades, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, keeping it a little tiny bit lower than the last green that we applied, and just keeping it really dark on the corners. So I want to apply most of the dark green on the outer corner, and then lightly fade it into the inner edge of my eye, and then also do the same on the inner corner. You're going to apply most to the inner corner and then lightly fade it into the center of your eyeball because that's where we're going to put the lighter shade, and we want it to gradually fade from dark to light in the center. And doing this, I went back and forth with my crease brush and then using this more dense brush to apply color and then going back to blend it out and back and forth until I just got my desired look. So don't be afraid if it doesn't look perfect right away. You can always go back in and blend things out or soften them, whatever you would wish. And then I just did the other eye, and we're going to be moving on to that center eye color. I'm taking the gold shimmer and the light white shimmer in this palette, and I'm just going to be using it on my finger. I feel like the finger is the best to apply shimmery shadows, so that is an easy tool, and I'm just going to pop this right in the center. You can use a glitter glue, and this will make this way more pigmented if you would like, but today I just wanted it to be natural and soft, so I just used my finger to pop that on the eyelid. And then I'm going to be going in with my Morphe M432 brush, which is a flat definer here. And I'm going to be taking that dark green shade and I'm going to smoke out the bottom lash line. And in this, I'm taking it all the way from outer corner all the way about into inner corner. I would say at least 3/4 of the bottom lash line. And then taking that crease color that we used, that brown shade, I'm taking this on a pencil brush and I'm just going to run it underneath that color just to smoke out the edges and create a more transitional, natural, if you will, look. And then taking my very favorite eyeliner. This is the NYC waterproof eyeliner. And this is the shade dark brown. I like to use brown just because it complements my blue eyes a little bit more and makes them pop. But I just tight line using this and it stays put all day long. And then I'm just wiping away any fallout from that green shadow or anything. And then I'm highlighting my brow bone in the inner corner of my eye with the light shimmer shade in that Kathleen Lights palette. This is very comparable to MAC Nylon, and that is why I love it, but it is so beautiful. And then curling my eyelashes and applying a thin coat of mascara. We are going to be using fake eyelashes today just to add a little something extra. So I'm just applying a little bit of mascara. And for my mascara, I am using the Flower Beauty Zoom In Ultimate Mascara. This I talked about in my last video, and I've been using it ever since. It is my favorite mascara. So I highly recommend this one. To highlight today, and per usual, I'm going in with my Becca Jaclyn Hill collab Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop just on a flat fan brush, and then I am applying it to high points of my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, and then I'm also going to run it in between my eyebrows and on my forehead just to add a little bit of dewiness to the skin since I am so dry. And then for lips, I'm using the Maybelline Color Jolt Intense Lip Paint and Strip Down, and I use this almost every day. I love it. It is just so easy to wear. And then topping it off with the NYX or NYX Pump It Up Lip Plumper. This is a little bit of a tingling lip gloss, but I love that sensation, and I really do feel like it does volumize your lips. And then to set it all, I'm using the MAC Charged Water spray, and I'm just spraying that over my face. To finish off the look, I'm going to pop on these Ardell Wispy Lashes. This is my first time using them, and they were so easy to pop on, and I loved them. So this is the final look. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave and leave me comments if you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.